Tonight on Frontline Report, a 4-game blowout has put teams on notice. The Gauntlet challenge is underway, squad submissions are already rolling in, and competitive rosters continue to grow. With TC and CT7 sharpening their teamwork and Mr. Flimsy's tournament drawing closer, the race to prove who's ready for competition is already underway. Let's get to the forefront. US Central rush on tunnels ended in a Coalition forces victory with 95 tickets remaining as ORE Mercs fell to 0. Coalition's production was spread across the roster, with 6 players reaching double-digit kills and 4 contributors combining for 90 eliminations. ORE Mercs remained active but relied on a smaller core group, with their top 4 producing most of the team's combat output. Notable mentions include TC's Epic and TC's Highly 5. Conquest US Central saw Coalition forces secure Paradise's oil rig with 29 tickets remaining. Multiple players exceeded 15 eliminations across both rosters. ORE Mercs recorded the highest individual kill total, but Coalition maintained greater depth, with 9 players reaching 9 or more kills compared to 6 for ORE. Notable mentions include KDG's Resistansen and TGR's Legion, whose continued involvement helped preserve tickets and secure the victory. In Asia, Coalition forces secured victory on Siberia, with 13 tickets remaining. The match produced some of the highest combat totals of the episode, with multiple players on both sides exceeding 20 eliminations. ORE Mercs concentrated much of their production in 2 leading performers who combined for 106 kills, while Coalition spread production across 4 primary contributors who combined for 127 eliminations. Notable mentions include Robbie Red and Mason with CT7. On Tunnels Rush, Coalition forces secured victory with 63 tickets remaining. Coalition spread combat production across the roster, with 6 players reaching double-digit kill totals. ORE Mercs answered with 6 players recording 10 or more eliminations, though much of their output remained concentrated among a smaller group of contributors. Notable mentions include Valkassel and Kagor, whose continued participation supported Coalition's battlefield presence through the closing stages. On US East Server 917, SKS swept ADN 4-0 across rush rounds on Tunnels and Siberia. Tunnels opened with a 59-ticket Coalition breakthrough, then shifted to an ORE defensive hold as SKS kept control. Siberia repeated the structure. Coalition advanced with 45 tickets left before ORE closed the final defense. ADN, M80B, CDL gave ADN steady secondary scoring, while SKS's Chrome 3 supplied repeated top-board pressure. SKS finished the full set through stronger roster depth. Now, let's see the standouts. Here are your spotlight players. For Coalition, TC's Homwa finished with 34 kills, 6 deaths and 3 assists, contributing heavily to Coalition's combat output while maintaining one of the strongest efficiency ratings on the field. For ORE, AR Drums 15 recorded 10 kills, 4 deaths and 3 assists, remaining efficient throughout the battle despite limited support from the wider roster. Both players stood out through consistent participation and influence during key moments of the match. Game 2. For Coalition, I'm in Control finished with 26 kills, 12 deaths and 7 assists, contributing across multiple engagements while maintaining consistent involvement throughout the match. For ORE, Monkey Lover recorded 35 kills, 13 deaths and 1 assist, producing the highest kill total on the battlefield and remaining active from start to finish. Both players stood out through consistent participation and influence during key moments of the match. For Coalition, CT7 Skeen finished with 39 kills, 23 deaths and 8 assists, contributing throughout repeated engagements while maintaining a consistent presence across the battlefield. For ORE, Crocodile Dan recorded 56 kills, 22 deaths and 9 assists, producing the highest combat total of the match while remaining active during every phase of the battle. Both players stood out through consistent participation and influence during key moments of the match. For Coalition, Maz finished with 32 kills, 10 deaths and 9 assists, contributing heavily to Coalition's overall combat production while maintaining involvement throughout the match. For ORE, Aspiran recorded 28 kills, 8 deaths and 2 assists, producing one of the strongest efficiency ratings on the battlefield and remaining active across repeated engagements. Both players stood out through consistent participation and influence during key moments of the match. For ADN, Darkoshiko finished the meeting with 129 kills, 75 deaths and 30 assists across 4 appearances, averaging 32 kills per board while carrying ADN's most consistent scoring line. For SKS, Eggs recorded 100 kills, 38 deaths and 43 assists across 3 appearances as SKS closed the series unbeaten. Both players influenced repeated engagements on tunnels in Siberia, providing their teams with continued support across the scrimmage series. The Gauntlet is now underway. Week 1 closes at midnight on July 9th, and that's the deadline for your first submission. Remember, this is a team competition. Submit one squad scoreboard per week through Discord DM. Your squad may consist of any members from your team roster, but every player in the squad on the submitted scoreboard must display the same team tag. Choose wisely, you only get one submission per week. The Gauntlet isn't about individual players, it's about teams proving they can perform consistently across 4 weeks of competition. Every qualifying submission moves your team closer to the challenge badges and the title of Gauntlet Conqueror. Reach the top, earn your place, and secure your invitation to the Champions Gauntlet Series coming this fall. Assemble your squad, lock in your tag, and we'll see who rises to the challenge. See who topped the leaderboards for Week 1 next week. Excitement continues to build around Mr. Flimsy's tournament as more teams enter the growing bracket. Community discussion has increasingly turned toward extending the competition across multiple weekends, with many believing a longer schedule could improve team availability, create more reliable match attendance, and give every matchup the time it deserves. As the bracket grows, so does the anticipation. Additional weekends could also give teams more time to prepare, build rivalries between rounds, and create even greater anticipation as the tournament progresses. One thing is already becoming clear. This is shaping up to be the biggest competitive event of the summer. Has your team signed up yet? Stay tuned to Frontline as we continue tracking the tournament, the brackets, and every major development across the battlefield. That does it for this edition. Until next time, see you on the front line.